My name is Achilles. I'm with the boy Kadeem, starting a podcast talking about photos. Sometimes it'll be the photos we take, sometimes it's the photos other people take. We will always be cutting ass.
I guess I'm just going to introduce myself as I did the first time in episode 1. There's now lost footage to time. Just to get out the camera. Don't quote me. Don't come at me. I just be saying what I know. Could be wrong, could be right.
Exactly. So all you goofballs that think you'll write in the chat something that we might care about, we won't. We won't care.
Big
Uh,
facts.
Still comment though. It's good for engagement. As you alluded, Kadeem, I lost the footage for the first episode, which made me very livid. I'm still livid, as you can tell by the episode name. But the difference between the first episode and this one is that we were able to pick a name. We're going with light leaks because it's like something that happens to cameras
And to photos.
and to photos. So yeah, I'm in charge of bringing in photos for this week. So let's hit it. I showed you this guy a little bit before. Hopefully, we'll be able to see some photos you haven't seen before, Kadeem. But I got some photos from a guy called Jack Davidson. I literally don't know anything about him. He's a white supremacist. Please let me know. I will add in the comment somewhere that he's whack. First photo coming up. What do you think?
Ooh, this guy. This one's nice. I feel like this one, it's cut off. Like, it's very, like, I am also jumping in, so, like, this is what I'm seeing in my camera. So, like, I really like that. Like, you're typically told not to cut off body parts and stuff, and like certain stuff, but like in this case, it requires you to cut off the body parts because like you feel in the moment of like you're there jumping in right now.
Yeah, I'd completely agree with that. Especially like the angle that it's at, I think really helps with that because it's like a higher perspective and it's like you're midway jumping in.
I was gonna say I like the black and white because I feel like the colors would distract.
I'm gonna say the same thing. And that I'm a fan of the texture of the like wave crashing. Isn't this a pool? It's a pool, yeah. So I guess it must
Yeah,
have been like someone farting or something.
rhythm jumping.
Rhythm jumping too, I guess. Both equally
Like,
plausible.
powerful ass fart.
Say that again?
I must have been a powerful ass fart.
Oh yeah, 100%. On some Wario shit. Yeah, it also gives me like old vibes. I think a lot of black and white photos give me like this is like a memory kind of vibe. Like this is what like hot summers were like with when like family was acting up.
It definitely does feel like a flashback memory, like a movie. Like, oh yeah, the good old time.
Yeah. I also like the composition in terms of like having that negative space on like the bottom left. It's not that negative because you have like some texture of like the ripples in the water, but like in comparison to everything else, like leaving that open there, I think looks nice to the eye.
Yeah.
Feeling like the next one.
POV, you're a bee.
Or you're another flower. Well, I guess you
True.
wouldn't be able to see anything. So the POV would be a black screen. I like I cheated because I found this photographer through a video from sorry for the siren, but from a video from some guy named William Sheepskin. Um he talked about how like the focus in this guy's photos is he you know how like there's that trend of the subject is out of focus and like the background is in focus.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really like he does that intentionally here because it makes like the curves of the flowers makes it look like much softer, which is like a nice effect, which I would agree with.
Very true.
Also like the colors on it.
Okay. I like the colors, yeah. I feel like, well, maybe he has his own story, but I feel like like that white in the bottom right. I feel like if he could have gotten rid of that and had like the stem of like that white flower, I'd liked it better.
Hmm. Yeah. What do you not like about having it like not be there or not be seen?
What do I not like about it, or what do I like about it?
Well, you said you'd like to see like the whole stem. So like, why don't you like not seeing the stem?
I feel like I'm not sure what if should I be taking in everything as a subject, or should I be like one thing the subject? And I feel like the white flower become a better subject if it was like if you could see the stem. I could also see more of that yellow flower, and I really like like I would like to see like all of the flowers a little bit better.
Like having the stem be like a leading line for the white flower.
Yeah, because I feel like the red one currently sort of like you can take it as it leads up to the top of the red flower. I feel like currently the stem of the red flower, it can be a lead in line towards like the bottoms on the left, the flowers on the bottom left, or it could be a lead in line to the flowers at the top.
Hmm. I think personally, I would also like to not see the white flower on the bottom right, mostly to like get a little more yellow in the photo. It's a very appealing yellow. To me, that's because there's not that much of it.
It could be distracting if it showed, but
Yeah, it is pretty vibrant.
maybe that was his thought process. What's going on here? Is it a fork?
I think it's a fork with like one of the thingies bent, the fingers. I really like that the shadow of the thing is like a face, and it's like
Yeah.
a spooky face.
Is that supposed to be like a fork in like a socket or something?
Maybe the material looks like it's paper.
Yeah, it looks like it's paper, but I also like that the shadow looks kind of like if you look at like the face and then look down, it looks kind of like a body, like a ghost, sort of like some like object or something.
Ah, makes sense. I'm puzzled because like, do you see here? There's like a light spot in the shadow. There's no corresponding. Like I don't know where that light is coming from because on the shadow it looks like a nose, which is neat. But I'm just curious where that came from. Maybe that was probably in post, where he like shone a light on it,
It could be. It could also just be like the way the light is like shining, because like it just looks like parts of it are darker.
or maybe it's a
So
real ghost.
spooky. I really like the textures around it though. Like I feel like it wouldn't be as good as it is if the texture around the object wasn't so like I don't know, like the empty space and the texture of the empty space. Maybe that's just like the grain of the film. I'm assuming this is film.
I think it's paper. Like towards the bottom, it looks like it's crinkling like paper, maybe. But I agree. If it were just like a flat gray, it wouldn't like add to the vibes. I don't think.
Maybe it's just like the texture and the grain, like the grain that's making it that texture. But I really like it, just whatever it is.
Spooky photo. I don't know how they got the fork to look like so dark. Maybe painted it.
Could also just be like a plastic fork, like one of those black ones.
Hmm. Something that I like. I kind of get mind fucked because the way that the fork and the shadow interacts feels like there should be a bend in the paper like along this line, but I'm pretty sure there isn't.
Yeah, no, it looks like it's probably just like the way the light is, because I feel like the light is like coming from like an angle on this side, so like it's and then so like when it's coming at the fork, it's sort of like bending a little bit.
Hmm.
It's like the ones that's not angled at is like directly at, and the ones that it's angled at are like coming in. That's why like their shadow is coming in a little bit.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
I don't know how they angled that, because I don't know how you got them both to angle in the same way. I feel like they would angle opposite ways, but the lighting definitely makes this photo.
Definitely good tones, spooky tones. This guy's got a lot of dog photos, and I really like all of the dog photos because I feel like normally photography dogs are like cute or like majestic or something, but his dogs are like spooky and like raggedy and like mummies almost.
Yeah, like this looks like a folklore story, like a jackal or something coming to get you.
Exactly. Like the I was gonna say like chupacabra or something, but I like the I don't think it's like vignetting, but like you see like around here, it's like a darker gray. I like that. I think it like closes you in to the dog more.
Those could be like I feel like those might be clouds that didn't expose properly, but like
Mm,
purposely like made them not expose properly so you can get the silhouette.
makes sense.
It looks more like a painting than like a picture. Like if you showed me this and you didn't tell me like he took this picture, I'd have been like, oh, cool painting.
Yeah, exactly. I like the motion blur too because it makes it feel like you caught it in action. Like it's like a Bigfoot photo. Like you caught it while it's like scampering away.
Yeah. You also can't tell like what breed of dog it is, so it's like sort of like mystery. It's like, oh, this could be like a brand new thing. And it's also like weirdly arched, like this very unnatural like gait. Like the way it's back, like its stomach is arched up a little bit. And also
Mm.
it's like weirdly positioned. I think that's kinda cool.
Yeah, yeah. I concur. Next photo. I really like this
So
one.
these like what are these kites?
I have no idea. I had no idea how he could have taken this photo. My guess. So these bottom ones look like papers that have been folded over. So my guess is like he took a sheet of glass, folded the paper, took the photo from underneath, and had a secondary light from like the left side lighting it.
He definitely takes very abstract photos. Like I can see like I definitely like you showed me like his like people photos like on
Mm.
his website. His people photos are like the first thing on his website, and I feel like I definitely like his more abstract stuff better than like the pictures he takes of people.
We got some of those coming up. Let me tell you. I do really enjoy this though. Like the all the colors are like really muted, and they it's like a really nice pick of kind of like primary colors.
Hmm. But I feel like the muted colors like sort of like make it. You have to focus on the shape more than like, oh yeah, that's a nice like that's a nice yellow, that's a nice red on a blue background. It's more like about the shapes that the paper takes rather than the colors of the paper now.
Mm. I really like too how because it's paper and the way that it folds, it looks like it's floating or like midair, and like these could be like if we lived in the fourth dimension, these could be like the clouds that live there or something like that. Like that's the kind of vibe that I get. Like I look up and like this is the shit floating around. Any last comments on this one?
No, I do like it. That's my last comment.
Good stuff. Thoughts?
A lot to take in for a second. I feel like that the black spot on top is an interesting choice. I feel like most people would have just taken like their eyebrow, the eye, and then that spot on the cheek. I wonder what his thought process was, or like what was like the full like makeup on this person's face. I just want to know like why, like what was his choice? Like if he chose that makeup, or like was this just like what the person like decided they wanted to wear, or was it like something special?
Yeah. I like the I like the heavy dark dot there where it's surrounded by like relatively white skin because it like gives balance to like the eye because like you know how like normally eyes in a photo like that's what your eyes will gravitate to because like you know I was gonna say Coomer brain but like pattern seeking
Psychology.
brain, yeah,
Yeah.
psychology. You look for eyes but like and like usually that's like the strongest thing in a photo but in this instance it's offset by like interestingly enough like another like circular shape but in like the most contrasting way possible so it like it's like there's almost a balance to it which I appreciate. And I think the black on the top may be to kind of dilute the effect of the eye as well. Like if you don't see the eyebrow, maybe it makes it weaker.
But I also feel like because you can still see part of the eyebrow, and this person's eyebrow is pretty like blonde, I assume, because
Mm,
it's super white in that part. So I'm just interested. Like if I were to like talk to this guy and be like, "Yo, what's happening here?" Like I'm personally, I'm not saying it's a bad choice. I feel like what you just said, like it worked to distract from the eye. I feel like that might be what he was going for. But I just want to like hear a little bit more about his thought process. Like, why didn't he do the entire eyebrow, or like why not like half the eyebrow? Like, what made him do like that specific like splotch?
right. Yeah, and like having it so like rounded or like blobulous as
Yeah,
well. This is an interesting photo. I think I appreciate it for like, I guess for what I just said, but I guess it doesn't strike me as like very compelling.
yeah.
Like it's not like a photo I would come back to. I don't think.
And this is what I was talking about. Like, I feel like his people photos, like, I think you can appreciate them, but I feel like personally, I wouldn't be like, oh yeah, like this is like I wouldn't be. This wouldn't be the first thing I would show someone from his line of work.
Yeah, I just realized that the hand is like kind of yellow, and I think it's like kind of a callback to that other more abstract photo. Like the colors are pretty similar, I think.
I like how where he placed the light really makes like a lot of like shapes, and I feel like
Mm.
there's like I feel like when he was taking this picture, he probably spent a lot of time on lighting. At least I would think, because like I feel like these shapes are very like he spent a lot of time moving this light around and trying to make like different interesting shapes to take pictures of.
Mm. And it probably took him a while time too to like make sure that the hand, because I think the hand is a reflection, position everything so that the hand is like not touching that like oblong oval, this one,
Yeah,
but like getting it close enough that it's like kind of like about to push it or something. Fuck with this crease on the bottom. I
yeah.
don't really know
I
why.
wonder if it's paper or just like does he have like a background that like has that like is that purely just the light or is that like the shape of like whatever he's taking a picture of?
Mm. Yeah, I'm curious what would make such a soft edge like that. It almost looks like one of those curves that you see in calculus class.
Yeah.
You ready for the
There's
next one? Oh, sorry, yeah.
I was just gonna say like just um like the hand like it's obviously like a hand but also like the way it's like it could be pointing at that oval but like just the way it's like positioned it you can also like I feel like to me like I automatically think of like it's a person walking and then they're walking
Mm,
just like they're walking into the shape but I'm seeing it as like they're walking down the street sort of this shape is just something on the street.
I really like that.
What is this an eyeball?
Is it a what?
Is that an eyeball?
I think it's a closed eye. But for me, it's like it's also like really hard to see what it is, to know what it is immediately.
Is this guy like a fine art photographer?
I have no idea.
This feels like one of those things like that like you would blow up really big and you just sell it to like those rich people for like three like uh $300,000.
Mm. And then they get to do some good tax write-offs.
Yeah.
I'm really loving
Mm.
the. Sorry, yeah.
Oh god.
I was just saying, I'm really loving like the detail in the photo, like all the textures, like the skin textures, the hair, the whatever kind of nut cone fruit thing this is.
I also like how like it's obviously like a closed eye, but also like adding in that like whatever that thing is, like whatever that seed thing is, it's sort of like you can look at it like vertically in the way he took the picture and be like, oh yeah, it's like the base of a tree. Like this is like this thing fell is at the base of a
Mm,
tree.
I like that. I was thinking about how the location in which he put it, um, kind of again with that pattern seeking brain thing. Like he put it in a key place to make it so that it's more difficult to immediately recognize that this is a closed eye. Because I feel like that little like space there is a big cue. And like without it, it's just like, oh, what's this like? What are these two like black lines?
Yep.
I think something that he does really well, for the most part, is like having like relatively simple compositions in terms of like it's not very cluttered. Like this is really just three shapes, maybe like two if you consider the cone and this bottom eyelash as the same shape. And
I think
then
what I like most about him is like his ability to make new shapes out of very simple objects. So like you
mm,
said, there's simple composition, but he like he's making a new shape out of an eye. Like you typically wouldn't like see if you were to just like take the picture of like his picture before of like that lady's eye before, and like even before like there, like I definitely can appreciate the fact that like he's making new shapes and adding like these extra things on top of like a very simple thing.
nice. I like that too. I think that's a very apt description of like one of his strengths. Oh, and before we go to the next one, just remind everyone, we're not experts. You're probably finding much more stuff than we are. Shut the fuck up. This is like corny, but like it's kind of cute.
Trying to figure out why there's eggs in the glass.
Those are the eyeballs. Oh, in the glass? Oh,
Yeah,
uh, oh,
there's a lot going on here, and I definitely like to hear what's going on in his head.
definitely.
So he simply could have just like taken like those things out of those glasses, but he chose to leave them in there. So I wonder like what. Like I feel like there's a lot more going on here than these other pictures we've been looking at. I just wonder why he opted from like I feel like he could have just done that plate and taken away all those glasses behind it. But I feel like he's been very intentional with the way he like creates these shapes so far. So like what about the glasses was like compelling to keep them there, and rather than like move them away and then just take a picture of like that plate on the tablecloth.
Yeah, I was thinking about how like you said, he's very intentional with how he's composing it, and I was wondering why he kept the table edge in the shot, and I was thinking that it kind of makes it feel like you're coming up to the table, like I guess another one of those like POV photos, and it's like these are the leftovers that like the children made on the kitchen table. Like they were playing around with their food and they were putting like the fucking eggs in the cups, and this is what they got, or this is what they left.
Because that's what he's going for now. The eggs make more sense. Like children are playing around. Yeah. I also feel like it's like nice negative space. Like I feel like I wouldn't like it if it was right up against the edge of the end of the table. I feel like the fall off and the contrast is really nice.
Yeah, yeah, it really pushes your eye towards the plate. I
Yeah.
think it's interesting though, like the idea that like rather than just cropping off the photo at this line, that you want to have that extra space here in order to just reinforce pushing the eye towards this side of the photo. You got this one.
Those spider webs?
No, I think it's a dandelion. I don't know how he did the perspective so well on it. Maybe it's easier than I think, but it just really looks like it's bigger than the poles.
Yeah. It's a very nice perspective. Uh, but this one I feel like isn't like as interesting as the other ones have been.
Hmm.
But also
Understandable.
maybe, like trying to like make like a point like oh like nature's just as big as everything else.
Yeah, or it stands taller even.
Yeah.
I guess compositionally, I like the two poles left and right supporting it, supporting the dandelion in the middle, and having like the foundation of the what are those highways or buildings at the bottom. Fuck England though. That's a horrible compositional choice. Don't know why he would have left it in there.
I feel like he just couldn't like cut it off. Because I feel like that height of like that base of the poles is really good, and I feel like if he cut it off anymore,
No, I
he
was
wouldn't
joking.
break as much.
It's not that bad. England is just a bad country.
Spicy takes.
Only spicy steaks here. Have we talked about street photographers yet? Oh boy, we're so lucky this guy's not a street photographer. Wait till we talk about street photographers. Then we'll get the spicy takes.
You know, Twitter just put up some new rules recently about people like without people like having put in pictures of people's consent, and so like it could change like how street photographers share their photo, not what they do, but like
Yo,
how it goes.
this is every street photographer right now, bro. Hearing that they need to have consent for their photos. This is
If they want to
so
put it on
wrong.
Twitter,
They don't on Twitter. It should be like that on every platform, bro. Bro, that's them right now, bro. What's that guy's name? Mike Greer?
Mike
Joe
Joe
Greer?
Greer, Joe Greer.
Joe Greer. This is Joe Greer right now, bro. I don't know if he has a huge Twitter presence. Bro, the day
I think he
Instagram
moved on.
does that? Say
Huh?
that. Wait, say that again?
I think he has a. I'm not sure. I don't really follow him like that.
No one should. Anyways. Back to non-degenerate forms of art. Um
We're gonna get fucking slammed. I like this photo.
good teal and orange. Nice texture on the clouds. It's almost like a vape.
Yeah, I just really like the texture in the clouds. Like, this is a really great photo.
Yeah, I'm a big fan too. And it the composition is nicely balanced, I think, in terms of like the black area and the sky area are both dark, balanced out by like the lighter clouds in the middle.
Yeah,
Almost like a sandwich.
I'm
Getting kind of
glad he
hungry.
got. You're hungry?
No. Sorry, what were we saying?
Oh no, I'm saying. I was just saying I'm glad he got the sky in there and not he didn't just do the cloud by itself.
Yeah, that would have been fucky. I'm glad he gave it some headroom.
Do you think that's the original color of the cloud, or do you think he like edited that?
Literally no shot unless it was like a 100% sulfur cloud. Like he probably died after taking that photo if the cloud was that yellow, or he was in a volcano. What was that?
What do you think he was trying to get into? Like, being next to a sulfur cloud.
What do you mean trying to get into? Like what kind of chemical company?
Like, yeah, what kind of antics? What was he up to?
Listen, bro, this might be a photo from the future. The way environmentalism is coming out.
True. 60 degrees in December? Crazy.
Nutty. I like this a lot. Mostly the purple eyes.
Yeah. I like that she's looking away.
Yeah.
If you're wondering what is she staring at, we're looking at you, but what are you looking at? Also, very interesting, like, just like colors, like the purple eyes, the red hair, pale skin.
Yeah, and the kind of like muted purple background as well. I like that the he I'm catching on to what you're saying about how like intentionally he is with the lighting placement, because in this one the light is placed just so that um her right eye is also lit up. And you can see like the reflection off her irises from there as well. Which is nice. Liquor. We live?
Ooh, we're live. Hope
Oh,
you
we
guys
should go to a
found
bar when you come back.
a bar.
And for those who ask, Kadeem is coming back from Mars. No, we will not get doxxed.
Definitely can't look up what this room looks like.
No, yeah, that's easily a Siberian jail.
Yeah, it's a motel in Queens.
Or Malta.
Malta. Yeah. Champaign, Illinois.
Champaign, is that real?
Yeah. Champaign,
Oh
Illinois.
my
That's where the
god.
University of Illinois. Am I right?
Bro, whoever names these towns, bro. Anyways, honestly not really grabbed by the photo very much.
Yeah. I feel like, well,
I blame Instagram. It desensitized me to any kind of sign.
yeah. I feel like signs are just because I've seen so many like modern day sign pictures. I am not intrigued by like where they came from. Like this is probably like where they started and everything, but I'm like, yeah, it's just like another sign picture. But this is because I'm seeing this now. I feel like maybe it was probably revolutionary before. But yeah, like someone's taking a picture of a sign, like they're making the sign like the center of the attention.
Yeah, I will give him credit for doing it in black and white and for not doing it on Cinestill.
So it
It,
still didn't exist.
he's not that old a photographer, I don't think. Like, I think he's still making work.
But well, like when did this picture come out? Because like since still like pretty recent, like in the last like what 3 4 years, I think.
I would bet that it was within that time. I'm not sure. I guess I can look it up later. I won't. Um,
We do not fact check here. Just letting you guys know.
no, yeah, I just say shit. Yeah,
Facts. But we're
but
always right.
exactly,
Always fuck. Never fucking come at us. I can curse all I. Oh wait,
exactly,
YouTube demonetizes. Not trying
bro.
to demonetize.
Acting like we were gonna get monetized anyways, bro. Come on. Nah, but I
Fuck
like
you, Aisha.
I like that because it's in black and white and because it's not like super glowy Cinestill, it has a very like noir sense to it. Like it does look like it could have been one of those old photos, like you were saying. I do like the stop sign. And like the texture of the sidewalk looks like it's a painting.
True. I like the shadow that the liquor sign puts on, but I feel like it's detracted by the fact he's probably like out at night, and I feel like sadly it's detracted by the shadow of the other pole and also the other signs. Like I feel like if this happened to be like a lone sign, then it'd be cooler.
Like if the shadow were able to be stronger.
Yeah, stronger and also not like on top of like other signs.
Yeah.
Mm.
I like this one a lot.
Yeah, I like this one too.
I like that the bent arm the shadow becomes straight. Or
I also
buttress
think it's
rather.
interesting.
Say that again?
So you go.
Oh, I was just saying I like that the bent arm goes straight in the shadow.
I feel like like it also like you can also make it feel like the shadow is like another hand catching the sand, which I think is really cool.
Mm.
Whatever is falling out of that hand.
I still like that like the hand is dripping sand, but you can't tell that it's sand by any of the rest of the photo. Like it's all flat and the grain just looks like photo grain. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? And you could tell some like tracks in it, I guess. Nice minimal composition. It makes you wonder what's outside the frame.
true. I wonder if he's like taking all like is this like a studio thing and he's just like has like a paper backdrop and he's just like really crinkly and everything.
He just has a what?
Like it's just like just a paper backdrop. 'Cause, like he's consistently had like this like white but like not completely white and like crinkly background. So is this just like his like studio or whatever?
Mm. Yeah, I wonder. I mean, I assume it would be. I have a hard time believing he could get like I guess the light angle so well if it's like outside an actual sand. I mean, if he did, he's just a straight G. But
It's also interesting how that hand is probably definitely like how did he get that angle so perfect that the hand is like upright, like it's definitely like straight out, yet you don't see the sand fall all the way to the bottom of the picture. You see it fall into the shadow.
yeah, exactly. You don't see like I didn't even realize that. There's no like this must have been maybe like when they first started dripping sand so that none of it would like collect up. what I'm saying? Like it wouldn't like pile up.
Yeah.
Interesting. And you can see the stream. It's really well. Crazy. Next one. Oh, not that far. Okay, this one. Blurry subject photo. What do you think?
I don't like it. Sorry. Shit on for not being cultured, for not being, having the artistic eye. I just don't see it. Like, I personally do not see it.
I I don't like it as much as the flower one, where the focus was in the back. What I don't like here, I guess, in part, is that nothing is in focus. I think also that something that I do like is that the way that the colors are super muted and the amount of blur that has on it, it kind of looks like a painting. Like this looks like what's that guy that made Night Owls? Do you know the painter that I'm talking about? Night Hawks, it's called. Hawks painting. Do you know this painting?
Oh, yes, I do. I
Yeah,
forget what Edward Hopper, yes.
yeah, Edward Hopper. It gives me that kind of vibe, I think.
Maybe that's what he was going for. Okay, if he was going for a painting, this definitely, like, fits it.
Hmm.
But I feel like if he was just like, yeah, this is just another picture, I
It's not
personally
it.
didn't see it. I see it as like a painting. Because they paint, like, it does give off, like, the.
Unfortunately for all of you, I don't know how to do technology. So we actually ran through the next few photos, but we lost them. So we're gonna speed run through these, and we'll try to not have that happen again in the future. So if you want to go first, yeah.
Originally said do not like it, but as we looked up, as you guys probably will not see, it looks like an Edward Hopper painting. Which, if he was going for the painting vibe, is very cool. But as just like a standalone photo without like knowing about like Edward Hopper, it's kind of, it doesn't really do much personally, in my opinion.
Understandable. Strong dislike. Instagram photo.
It's a good thing the footage was lost because now they can't see us flaming the photographer that we were talking about here. But don't look them up again. But yeah, there's off the lives of a photographer that I personally think makes. At first, I was like, it's cool. Like, I guess like when I first started, but then I was like, compositionally, it's kind of boring, and it doesn't really do much. It's just sort of like hype, and very much. Again, he could have been the one who. He could be one of these people who like did in the beginning, and so like it was new and interesting. But like I feel like this now is just like because of Instagram, it's overdone, and so his photo isn't doing much, even if it could be an originator.
Yeah, yeah. It's just as we in the business and biz, I'm gonna have an aneurysm. As we in the business call corny.
Yeah, weak tones.
Scariest shit I ever seen. Shit my pants. I like the silhouette, the hair. I'm in the jar. Very scary. The legs look clumped up.
And again, much his shapes with in like animals, insects, and inanimate objects just seem to work so much better. I think maybe because like these things move of their own accord, like people want to be seen in their best light, so like he can't have them move in strange ways, and they always want to be like photographed very specifically. So like maybe that's why he's better at making these like compelling and interesting compositions and shapes with like things that aren't people, in my opinion.
Something I didn't notice before was the reflection of the spider. And I think it balances out, like having that symmetry. Yeah, it gives it some sort of balance because it might have been like, I guess, more heavy or like lopsided upwards without it.
Yeah, definitely.
Abstract balls. This blood here, murder.
Yeah, and again, it's very simple, like 3 colors, very minimal, and I think his minimal is really good
Yeah,
because that's where shapes shine.
I like that. It's like for a lot of his middle photos, he's been doing like the same, like red, more or less same blue value, and like kind of yellow. And he found a color palette that works, and he's been doing it well. I like that these back lanterns are in shadow because otherwise, I think it does two things. It really sets it in the background. Like if they were bright, they might have like popped out too much, and I guess maybe felt more in the foreground. But it gives it, I think, another level of separation, which is nice. Again, if they were lit up, it might have been too much red. And like you said last time, Kadeem, it adds a nice like curved leading line leading to the one in the foreground. Dog.
Again, very. If this was not silhouetted, it'd be like just a stock photo of a dog, but it's not. And I think he made an interesting shape by not silhouetting it, and by silhouetting it, and then also like making sure the dog is like off the not the center of the frame, but on the side. And so like you can like interpret it like even though it looks like a dog jumping to catch something, you can interpret it in other ways. You can be like, oh yeah, that's an interesting shape. That's like some monster coming down, or like walking or floating or something.
Yeah, I really like that. I think another effect of the silhouette that's really nice is that it compresses everything. Like the head and the neck kind of compresses into the body, and it gives it. The shape looks really weird because you can tell it's a dog, but you also can tell that it's unnatural for the head of the dog to be where it is, which makes it like kind of spook. And the legs, I like that all three of the legs that we can see and the ear all lie in the same. They're all parallel to each other, and I think that in part is why the dog being on the left side and having so much room to the right of it works very well because having those lines kind of lead into that direction. I guess it lets it breathe. Oh, and I think last time we said it would have been better if it didn't have the football field goals.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said that because I think not having that context there, like knowing that it's like football fields, knowing that it's football goals lets you know that it's on a field, lets you know that like this is just a dog that like was jumping up, and like having that added context kind of detracts from what other possible situations might have been, or like it grounds it in a way, I think, for a subject that is fairly not unrealistic, but like not very grounded in reality, if that makes sense. Coffee.
I now know that this is a dog, but if I was not told by Achilles that it was a dog, I would have thought it was like coffee on a table and there was something spilled and there was hair. Yeah. I now see that's kind of dumb, but yeah. Again, very interesting of creative way of making new weird but like compelling shapes out of like everyday things. Like this is just an egg and a dog eating an egg, and he's made like this new shape.
Yeah, I really like I like the comedy of the photo. It's something that I don't think is present in any of the other photos that we've seen thus far. Like it's a dog eating an egg. It's goofy. Look at him. Look at him go. Big tongue out there, slurping up that egg. And really, the masterpiece in this one is the little heart that's made here by the little white fleck that's in all eggs. I think we also noticed that this could very well be the dogs that we see in the other photos because the hair is like kind of scraggly. But yeah, there's a book about hip hop history called Contact High by Vicky Toback. Check it out. It's a very cool book. Pause the screen. I read this the last time. I'm not going to read it again. Fuck you. I don't really like this portrait.
Yeah, I feel like he could have made it more parallel, but it does. This one does like what it's like based off of, like the Kurt Cobain picture. I guess I could see where she was coming from.
I think this is the Kurt Cobain picture.
Yeah, but I do like the one on the next slide more. The contact sheet, the one with the gun in his mouth. That one,
This
I
one?
think, yeah, that one definitely is a lot better, personally.
I concur. The lighting is just more dynamic. I think it's a better angle. The posture, the posing is better. It's not like this is so like stereotypical. Like it does not get more like gun. It's literally like gun to my head. Like at least I mean this is too, but like I don't know.
I think angle wise, it's definitely like more compelling. It's not just like a straight on photo. Like that one's a straight on photo.
I started the recording again. So to summarize here, whack.
It's gonna seem like we're haters. Your mic, your mic, your mic.
Oh, I said we are haters. We hate making content. Thank you. This would have been better than the bigger one. This is LARPing. I don't know what the fuck this is. He's about to sneeze. He's about to jerk himself off. Classic Eminem. Something about suicide would have made more sense for Lil Peep or Trippie Redd. But Eminem was into shock value at the time, so that's probably why they did it. Comments?
No, I think I'm good.
Smart. Fuck this shit. Light leaks. Spread the word. Fuck you. Fuck me. I'm so
Thank
tired.
you guys for listening.
Bro, are you what is it called? Minimizing how tight I am right now?
No.
But
I'd be there tight too.
it was fun. It was fun to do. And thank you for having so much patience with me. But yeah, check out whatever you want. It's on the screen. You can't have Kadeem. Kadeem is mine. Goodbye, you fucking losers. Auf Wiedersehen.
Auf Wiedersehen.